Well, I grew up in La Mesa, which is about 45 minutes south of Lubbock. And so coming out of high school, wasn't really sure where I wanted to go to college, but I always knew I wanted to work in communications. That was always my focus from the get-go. Because I received a scholarship from the San Antonio Livestock Show and was very involved with the FFA and a lot of activities in high school, I received a fantastic scholarship that needed to focus in agriculture. So I ended up doing my undergraduate at Texas Tech University so I could major in agricultural communications. And that was a really good building program because I did all of my major coursework in the School of Mass Communications. And so I really learned writing and editing and storytelling and magazine and PR and advertising. And then I would go to the ag college and specialize in crops and soils and dairy science and all of those other fun subjects as well. And so, that degree really prepares you to do a communications-focused career in the ag industry. And so I really thought I was going to go that direction, and really also had my sights on being in TV news. Really always loved journalism and wanted to focus in on news. But through the process, met people at the TV station there in Lubbock through my journey, and I've realized what a hard journey that is, to start at the very bottom and to make probably less than minimum wage when you're putting in all of those hours during the week, and that you have to keep climbing and keep moving. And I decided that might not be the right path for me. So then I decided to really refocus more on public relations and general communications as my career path going forward. So after graduating from Texas Tech, my husband and I got married right during that last year of school of college. And I couldn't decide, did I want to go to grad school or did I want to go start working, And I really didn't know. I felt like I needed to go to grad school immediately because I might not get the opportunity to go back, once I got started in a job. But I didn't know what I wanted to study in grad school at the time. And so a wise mentor of one of my internships told me, he said, just find a job, start working, understand what it is you really want to do. You can always do grad school later. So that's what I decided to do. And about 3 months later, my husband and I moved to San Angelo. And I became a marketing coordinator for Shannon. So that was in 2000. I finished college in 3 years. So here I am, 21 years old, starting my first full-time job at Shannon. San Angelo was a kind of a destination city for the two of us. Coming from a small town and he from an even smaller town, I wanted big city and he wanted small town. So this was our compromise city. My mother grew up in San Angelo. My grandparents were here. My mom graduated from ASU. And so we came to San Angelo a lot when I was growing up, and it really felt like a home for us. So I started the job at Shannon, and his job had transferred him to San Angelo at the same time. So it was a really great move for us to land here. So I started at Shannon in 2000 as a marketing coordinator, kind of on the entry level. Really getting to start my job in communications, writing for the newsletters, doing employee communications, working with the media, and really kind of getting my feet wet. And my first boss at Shannon was the marketing director at the time, and her name was Jo Vaughn, and now Joe Grant. And what a wonderful person to learn from. And she had just started the Master's in Communications program at Angelo State. She was in the very first class. And, at the time she said, Lyndy, have you ever been interested in grad school? And I said, well, I was, but I wasn't sure if I needed to go straight from undergraduate to graduate school or start working. And she said, I really think you should try this program out. It's a fantastic program. So I started in the fall of 2001. So I was working full-time at Shannon and then taking 6 hours a semester. So I was doing it part-time. So it took me 6 semesters to finish the graduate program at Angelo State, but I did it and graduated in 2004. And what a wonderful experience I had here. She was absolutely right that she also was working full-time at Shannon while doing grad school. And I have to say that was the perfect pairing for me because I was getting to take real-world projects that I was doing in my job and apply them to my coursework and to all the different things that I was learning in grad school. So I think I really got a much more meaningful experience because I was able to partner what I was learning here at ASU with what I was doing in real life and kind of see how to take those and apply them further on. We had a lot of great professors in the graduate program, but Dr. June Smith was just absolutely phenomenal. What a wonderful inspiration to have. I do think she taught the majority of my classes, but she was just such an accessible person. Always could go and visit with her, sit down and kind of think through, if we've got a particular project we're working on in grad school, how can I take what I'm doing at work and marry the two together? And then come up with something that not only met the needs of the graduate program, but also enhanced what I was doing at work. And she was just a really great mentor, lots of wisdom, lots of knowledge, forward thinking, and I really appreciated the time that she spent to really get to know all of us as individuals. So after getting my master's degree, I had so many wonderful classes in that degree. Project management, which I'd really never been exposed to before, and how to manage a project from start to finish. We even had a class at the time on networking with technology and all the components, that are involved in the digital age now. And of course, this was about 19 years ago. So it's been a while, and I know the courses have changed over time, but just being exposed to all of those new concepts for me really helped open my eyes up for how to manage bigger projects, maybe how to tackle bigger issues in my job. And shortly after graduation, I had the opportunity at Shannon to transfer over into the IT department and kind of use those project management techniques and my new exposure to digital communication. And I was able to start working on a new Shannon website. I helped implement a new intranet for the organization. And then I also got to start working with, at the time, our physician portal system, which enabled our doctors to be able to access patient records and images and all of those things from home before we have what is now our big medical record system. So anyway, it enabled me to learn all of these new things in this new job and to apply my communication skills in a very different, focused manner, which I really enjoyed. So I got to do that for about 3 years. I also got to help our human resources office with some special projects and also doing some leadership training for our managers and just how to expand their skills as managers. So we talked about recognition and we talked about conflict, and we did a lot of leadership training, which I really enjoyed getting to lead those classes and provide that. So I think my degree really enabled me to branch out. Even though I stayed within the same organization, I really got to branch out to learn a whole lot more about Shannon and how the different pieces work together with kind of a big picture view of the organization. So after the 3 years kind of doing sort of the IT and human resources work, I had the opportunity to go back to the marketing department and eventually became director of marketing. So I've been in that role now for 16 years, and it is a very interesting job. Love it. Every day is different. So much variety. And I really, even though I thought when I was an undergrad I was going to specialize in agriculture, I never dreamed I would be in healthcare. But I love it because there is always something new to learn. And I love lifelong learning. And there's always a new procedure or a new service that we're offering. And while I'm not a caregiver and I don't take care of patients, I indirectly get to help support that. And that gives me a really good feeling at the end of the day. I would absolutely recommend the program at ASU. The communications department is wonderful. I love to see a lot of the people that I went to grad school with and see how successful they are today. I mean, at least 3 are professors now, 2 of them at Angelo State. Another one is in a wonderful leadership position at the university. And I really look at all of my colleagues and I'm so proud of them and what they've been able to accomplish. And ASU provided that foundation for where all of us are today. And I also love that I was able to work full time and do grad school at the same time too. That kind of seems daunting at first, but it really, between the professors and everyone here, you have the support at Angelo State. So it's possible to do that. And it's just what a great quality education right here in San Angelo, in this region. It's such a great thing to take advantage of.